Hello and welcome. Tonight on the show, we will be presenting some bonus content for your enjoyment. I'm living up to my namesake tonight, Sneaky E, with some super secret, limited production hot sauces. We're going to be looking at a sweet and smoky hot sauce and a mild herb hot sauce. We are so excited to have you here tonight. Thank you for listening. This is Sauce Spoken. And we're back. This is Sauce Spoken, and tonight we are doing some bonus content on your favorite dips, sauces, and condiments.
I'm your host.
I'm your host, Eric. And tonight, I am joined by my co-host, Tori.
Tori, yeah, that's right. Hello. Yes, we're delighted to have you, of course. This is some special bonus content for you, so you got to be you got to be in the inner circle to be able to listen to all this. So, thank you for being here. Thanks for joining us. And I got to think about here, to my left, this is so bizarre. To my left, the man in plaid, our co-host and our good friend. I thought of nothing witty. I would have liked to have known this beforehand. But our friend Adam and co-host Adam.
Taking a back seat tonight. We're going to let Eric take the reins. He's going to be leading us through some sauces that we have here tonight. And I'm happy here just to sit back and, as Ali said once before, he said, let you be the captain of our ship or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
He made kind of an interesting point on when he was our guest about how it's kind of an interesting perspective to be on someone else's podcast when you have your own, because you get to kind of take that back seat and just be a follower instead of being a leader. So that's what I'm going to do for our little bonus content here. This was something that Eric brought for us, so I'm going to let him take the reins and lead it away. That being said, have at it, Eric.
Thanks, Adam. I really appreciate that. It was kind of weird to do the introduction there, but it was kind of fun, too. So as Tori alluded to, you really got to be on the Insiders Club of Pittsburgh, know how the sausage knowledge train that we tapped into here. So a few episodes ago, we did a sweet sauce by the Olive Tap. It was made for specifically the Olive Tap. Now, when I was there, getting that sauce, that chocolate raspberry liqueur sauce, and it was very good. It was one of our top enjoyed sauces.
Excellent.
I think may still be our highest rated.
Wow, amazing! I'm excited to see what's going to dethrone that. I really am. But when I was there, I was talking to the manager, who is uniquely tied to the Olive Tap. He's the owner's
handsome.
He's the owner's nephew. I don't even remember what the guy looks like. No, that's not true. I kind of remember what he looks like.
Wow.
His name's Derek, though, and he has been growing hot peppers for a few years. And I told him about doing the podcast, and he kind of, took an interest in, because he's been growing peppers in his backyard, in his garden, and he's been developing his own hot sauce, and he's going to, hopefully, in late 2021 or early 2022, actually get his own branded hot sauce on the shelves here locally in Pittsburgh. He happened to have this current season's production, which would probably be from last year's growing season, I imagine, because at the time that I bought this, it was in February. But yeah, he's hooked me up with a couple of his homemade hot sauces. So we got to try a sweet and smoky, organically grown, fermented, and made in Pittsburgh, PA. And we also have a mild herb hot sauce. There's ingredients listed on them, and it says to shake well, but other than that, there's just a little... Tori, would you like to tell us a little bit about the bottle? I know he doesn't quite have his own brand yet, but a little bit about what he is currently distributing them in.
Yeah, I don't even know what this bottle looks like. Almost looks like an old-timey medicine bottle, maybe.
Exactly. I was thinking like some alchemical thing.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best way I can describe it. I've seen nothing...
It looks like a health potion.
Yeah, like a mana potion. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it's red, so it'd be a health potion, right? But yeah, I mean, that's probably the best way to describe it. It has a gold twist-on lid. I mean,
same color as the Lyle's lid, if I can interject there.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Yeah, so that brassy gold. I understand this fella isn't, doesn't quite have the production. It's not a slam on him. But that end, of course, the sticker is a little bit on the plain side, but that's okay. I'm willing to cut this fella a break. Derek, I believe you said his name was.
Yes.
But yeah, the sweet and smoky, that's that. And yeah, the other bottle's identical. The only difference being, of course, is the label on the front. They're both instructing us to shake well, which of course is sage advice. But yeah, outside of that, pretty plain Jane bottle, but the contents are quite otherwise.
Well, but the look of them, I will pass that on to Adam. So do you want to compare, or if there's any comparing to actually be made by these, the look of these sauces?
Yeah, sure. So I was a little bit of a trick of the light. I think that one of them is slightly darker. I think actually the mild herb, which I will comment a little bit on your point to where you had mentioned that there was, I think you had said something was sage, and I think that you might be on the ballpoint, as we say.
Wow.
I think there might be a little sage in this mild herb. Could be wrong. But I know that one appears a little bit darker. The sweet and smoky is a little bit lighter, but they're both medium red sauces, as we had said. They look like a health potion. They're well blended. They do have some noticeable chunks in there. Mainly the mild herb seems to have some more of the darker green herbs floating in there. They're very low or high viscosity, whichever one is which. They're very runny. Both of them are very runny. We poured these out on the chips, and it was a little bit of a struggle to do that because they were going to run off the chips.
What kind of chips?
Round tortilla rounds from Great Value.
The best of brands.
They're only, I don't know, how old are they, a year now?
Yeah. Well aged here in the Nerd Palace, as always.
But no, I'd say they're well pureed sauces, and their color is, yeah.
Disgusting.
They weren't even heat sealed either. I would say their color is roughly about the same as like your standard Tabasco color, roughly.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, I would say so.
But more of, like I said, a chunky blendedness to them. But no, I mean, they look professional. Like I said, the label's a little lackluster, but I think these are like pre-production ones. But other than that, if you gave me this bottle, especially if you put like a wooden lid or something like that on there, I would say it looks quite professional.
Sure.
How many ounces would you say that is?
7, 6.
Yeah, probably less. Yeah, probably
less than a
even
cup.
5.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
say 4.
Yeah,
best.
5 or 4. Yeah.
Does it say on there?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, there's no nutritional facts or anything either on these.
But there is ingredients, which is exciting because it's always my favorite part of the show.
Ease and greed.
One of my favorite parts of the show. I enjoy our shows. I hope you do too. Do you want to go ahead?
No, just kidding.
Suck.
Do you think we should run through the ingredients or just do
It's your
what
call,
your
my
kind
man.
of thoughts on
This
flavor?
is your program, bro.
It's your program. You're running the show.
That's right. El Capitan.
You tell us.
I know you already closed up your notebook, Tori, but let's go ahead and just grab one of the sauces here, the mild herb.
Okay.
What was your taste and just tasting notes, thoughts? What did you think of this?
I thought it was very, and when I say spicy, I don't mean, see here we have that nomenclature issue that we've had in the past where spicy means a number of different things here. I got a spice as in a gingerbread spice. And I say gingerbread, that may not be the best, but I don't mean hot.
No.
I mean a very spicy, almost like a chai tea or something, spicy, like that, full of spice, not necessarily spicy hot.
Okay.
I liked it a great deal. I don't have the best tongue palate when it comes to being able to decipher, what's rosemary over thyme, over sage, over, any other Paul Simon song. But yeah, so I have a bad sensory as far as that's concerned, but I really liked it. I thought it was outstanding, and I wish this guy the best.
Wow, nice. That's awesome. Adam, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, so I think to your point there, Tori, about the herbs, that was definitely the primary thing I got. They both have a decent amount of heat to them. But as far as like the spice goes, the herbs, I specifically think I was getting a lot of what I believe is rosemary in that one. Maybe also some sage. I'm not as familiar with sage. I don't use that as often, but I think you could think of, if you think like a roast chicken, sage and rosemary and sometimes a little bit of thyme are kind of like the three main ones for that. Thyme is a little bit more of a spicier flavor. Rosemary is that one that I think is featuring most prominently in there. Sage is also kind of a more savory flavor. It's a little bit more subtle. But I was definitely getting those types of notes in there. I actually thought it would be good on chicken for that reason. It's got kind of the roast chicken with some spiciness to it. Yeah,
right.
I could definitely see that being like almost like if you imagine putting hot sauce on a rotisserie chicken or something, I could see this kind of being in that ballpark.
No,
That'd be
100%
sick on a chicken
agree.
wing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I have to admit. I mean, you guys are saying everything that I totally agree with. It has, like an earthy herb flavor. Again, I don't know if I was really able to diagnose exactly what herbs I was tasting. It was pleasant. I don't think the heat level was out of this world. It was noticeably spicy without being uncomfortable in any way. You could definitely just keep eating. I think Adam was famous for now coining the idea of, is it too hot to stop? Or is it so hot I need to take a break or something like
Slow
that?
down,
So,
yeah.
Slow down, yeah. Famously coined, and yet I can't remember it. Yeah, I don't know. So the ingredients here, I'm going to go ahead and just dive right into the ingredients on this particular mild herb. It has cayenne, serrano, thank you, and Thai peppers, carrots, garlic, onions, vinegar, water, salt, and then it just says herbs and spices. He doesn't want to give it all away, which I don't even know if I should be reading the ingredients. I'm sure he's probably what he's going to
He's gonna
Slap it
sell
on the bottle.
If he's going to sell it, he's going to have the ingredients on it. So,
or at least, the main ingredients, then exactly his herbs and spices in there. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this sauce as well.
Real good.
I'm going to go ahead and just start us off. I think, if I was going to give this sauce a rating like we normally do, I would have to say the sauce was more interesting than Frank's Red Hot. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a 6.5. Maybe that's even being a little, maybe I'm going to say it's a 7, but then I'm going to say the heat level is only like a 4 because it was noticeable, but not, like I said, not too hot. Tori, what do you think?
Boy, yeah, I thought a 6 was a bit insulting. To be very honest with
Wow.
you, I mean, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I'm gonna be 7.5. I'm gonna be right with this big time Nando sauce. I thought it could compete rather well. For my taste, of course, I like the mildness. I like the fact that it's not hot or it doesn't build a great deal of heat. I enjoy those savory things more so than the heat notes. So yeah, I think it's terrific, and I think a 7.5 is a perfectly fair score.
Nice.
Do you require the heat score now, or are we waiting?
I did them both together. Go ahead and just do them together.
Very well. Yeah, I think your assessment of a 4 was a very fair one. Yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it fell right underneath the Red Hot. An ideal sauce for me is a hot sauce that I don't have to stop. I don't even want to consider stopping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be that hot where I'm thinking, oh man, like,
you don't want to think about the heat.
yeah, like I don't want it to be uncomfortable. I want it to be nice and subtle in there, and that was very much that. So 4 is not an insult, I don't think.
No, I don't. Yeah, I have to agree. I think that's well placed. Adam?
Yeah, you know what? I was going to come right in and say I think for the flavor, I think a 6, and I'm going to, as we mentioned before, I have a discretionary point, and I'm going to use my discretionary point and bump this up a whole nother point to a 7. And the reason for the discretionary point, I have never seen a flavor combination like this in one bottle in a production format. And so I'm going to give him some serious props for that. Like I said, definitely think it has its usage, and to me, I think that's going to be the key to his success is find your usage for this. Package it with something else. Package it with a recipe, something like that. Print a recipe on it, because I think people may not know how to approach this.
Chicken wings, dude.
I think you're right.
I think that's the toe in the water, man.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, but yeah, I definitely think chicken is the right way to go for sure. Like I said, for this, I think I've had lots of hot sauces. I try to sample a lot. I've never had one that had like this rosemary savory element in it at the same time. And maybe it's just because I'm not as well versed as I think I am. But yeah, I'll give it a discretionary point for that. Absolutely. Heat wise, I actually thought it was hotter than you guys did. To me, I thought this was quite hot. I think I would probably, I had a little bit of this on a chip, and I think if I had as much of this as I have had some other hot sauces, it would slow me down when I was eating this. I'm gonna roll in, I think, with 7.5 for heat.
Oof.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow.
I definitely think I noticed it quite a bit. Maybe that just was me. Maybe it's the runnier. It definitely had more vinegar than some other ones we've tasted.
And there's definitely chunks of
Yes.
peppers floating in there. Maybe you just hit a
And it also bears noting that I think this one was a little separated towards the top, and I did get more of the chunk initially, so that might be contributing to that too.
cool. And Neat. I think it needs mentioning maybe just so organically grown too. So that's pretty kind of neat for
Very
some
cool.
hot sauces. Too,
and I didn't know before you mentioned this that he had actually grown these peppers himself. That's also, I think, extremely impressive.
That is.
That's that's always kind of been. I've made hot sauces before, and to have something in a final product like this, I'd be very proud of myself, and I think he should be too.
Absolutely.
I do question how he separates his peppers. I know it's real easy to cross-contaminate your hot peppers. They are real. What's the word to say?
They're easy to cross-pollinate.
Yeah, cross-pollinate. There we go, Adam.
But I think we mentioned this before, and I think the cross-pollination only occurs if you plant the seeds from those peppers that were cross-pollinated. I don't think that they themselves can adapt properties. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I believe.
Okay.
Could be wrong. Because they do grow post-pollination. So.
Right, the peppers themselves. Right. All right. Well, that being said, we're going to just dive right into the next one here, which is his sweet and smoky. And I'm not entirely sure how many sauces, different brand flavorings he had. He made it sound like these are not the only two. Like he's going to be coming out with like a whole line of like 5 or 6 of them. So pretty exciting when it actually hits the stores.
I'd love to know how many peppers this guy is growing.
Right.
He has to have a field of peppers.
Yeah.
He must. So, the sweet and smoky was a particular favorite for me. I think that I love that sweet play at the initial and then the little bit of a smoky and spice in the end. I really liked it. And I'm not sure. I lost my train of thought. Are we on to the ratings and did I do that first or was I doing that last? I think I was last time. I think I made Tori go
Did we
first.
do tasting notes on this yet?
No, we didn't. So yeah, tasting notes. So yeah, it was sweet and smoky. It was exactly as it claimed to be. But it wasn't too hot. So I really enjoyed this one. What about you, Tori?
As advertised, most definitely. I know we've made a point about this in the past. We appreciate, at least I do, I appreciate things that are labeled accordingly. You know what you're getting into as soon as you snap the top, and this was it. You absolutely got the sweetness. Just like you mentioned, you got it right off the bat. The smokiness came in a little bit later. The heat was definitely reasonable. Terrific.
Nice. Adam?
Well, as we've mentioned before, I think you guys were right on. You hit right on the ballpoint, as we always say.
Adam's new favorite term of mine.
Right. It is definitely sweet. It is definitely smoky. That being said, I would like to say we've done a little bit of research recently into different types of sweetness, and what I noticed about this one is you get the sweetness right off the front on the tip of your tongue first thing before you get the heat. Heat I thought was very pleasant level. The sweetness I found a little off-putting. Now, to me, what I got from it was not the level of sweetness, or not, that I thought that was well balanced. But I actually got more of I think it is sucrose. I think it is a table sugar that he used. But to me, I get aspartame.
So you got a chemical. You get a chemical sweetness.
I very much got like that diet pop sweetness, which I found very off-putting. So my only suggestion to him would be, why not go ahead and try something more like the Lyle's Golden Syrup, or just go for some straight up honey? Try incorporating some honey. Now, I didn't read the ingredients in this, so I could be way off base, but that was my kind of like tasting notes. That's the only thing I would change, is that stray away from something more like that aspartame taste, which might be coming from sucrose.
So do you get that flavor? Do you think you get that flavor profile from a high fructose syrup too?
I actually don't. To me, I think it was just this. I think the sauce, the heat or whatever, the vinegar was cutting away a part of that just normal table sugar taste, and I'm just getting that kind of more chemically taste. But that would be my only suggestion. Maybe switch to like a cane sugar, and maybe, like I said, I don't know. We'll have to get the ingredients to know what he used in these, but that would be my only suggestion. Maybe I would say, man, try some honey. Maybe if I can hook him up with some fresh honey or something, maybe he can try that in the batch. Yeah,
to stay with the organic, the local source. Yeah, that's really interesting. Do you ever get that notes of? Well, surely you've had my salsa many a times.
Yeah.
And when I fresh make it, it often comes across sweet, I think.
Yeah. I definitely get sweetness from that. Not quite in the same way as this, but I think it's also because there's more liquid in yours, more like, from the tomatoes and stuff.
The juices from the tomato, my salsa,
this is that more pureed and a lot heavy vinegar in it.
Yeah, I just use regular table sugar for mine, but and I really am a big fan of that garlic, that hot garlic salsa that has that sweet in the beginning, and you could almost call it like a sweet and garlicky salsa that I like to make. Well, that's interesting. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna dive in here on the ingredients for the sweet and smoky. Well, that's a little suspicious.
Uh-oh.
They seem to be like the same ingredients.
Really?
Cayenne, serrano, and Thai peppers, carrots, garlic, onions, vinegar, water, salt, herbs, and spices.
Oh.
I wonder if he just, slapped that on all of them just because he doesn't want to.
Well, so it's not listing any form of sugar, right?
No, it's not.
Yeah, maybe he mislabeled, or maybe he has a generic label or something like that. Because I imagine, or maybe it is aspartame.
And maybe
it's a 0 calorie. Maybe I picked that up. Because you wouldn't. I don't know if you have to list that as an ingredient.
I'm not sure that's organic, though, dude.
Right. I mean, it says, but it does say organically grown, fermented, and made.
I don't know if he's going to label the sauce as it. I'd be curious to know when you stop in. I know you said you're going to stop in and drop some stickers off. Ask him some questions. Let him know what episodes we did him for, and maybe pick his brain a little bit. Maybe, like I said, suggest he try honey or something. We can definitely give him the feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. I will do. For me, I didn't quite notice it, but I didn't have a whole lot of it. I do think it's something that I would have liked to have tried on chicken as well. I think it would be really good on chicken wings. I think it'd be really good on a taco. You get that sweet little zing to it, and then the smokiness afterwards. I think it could be really good on a taco. I'm going to go ahead and say this is, I think I like this one a little bit more, so I'm going to go ahead and say this is a 7.5 on the taste. But I think that the heat levels maybe even a touch lower than the herb one. I'm going to say it's like a 3.5. So, Tori, what's your thoughts on your ratings for that one?
A little bit different than you this time around, E. I didn't care for that one as much as the herb mix as the first one. So to that end, I'm going to give this new one, the sweet smoking, and give it a 6.
Okay.
It was okay. It wasn't well. I certainly eat it again. I don't hate it. But out of the two, yeah, that's not my favorite. The heat, I thought it was considerably hotter than the other one. So I'm going to ramp that up to a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which isn't like still very hot at all. Just a little bit.
Yeah, it's noticeably warmer, but still in the very comfortable range.
Cool. Adam, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to do my heat first because I think it had the exact same heat as the other one. I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Wow, high again.
Yeah, I thought they were both quite high in the spice, honestly. And I think, part of it is what we tried it on were these tortilla rounds, and as Eric is famous for saying, salt is a flavor enhancer, so that may be part of what I'm experiencing here too. I am not sure what I would use this sauce on, but I think we should try it on something else to really get the full effect of it.
Yeah.
And that might change my rating. Maybe a taco or something like that, maybe something that needed that. I don't know. I'm struggling for that a little bit. Flavor-wise, I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
Which I know is kind of low, but like I said, to me, whatever that aspartame thing was just wasn't doing it for me.
Right.
I like the balance, though. It was a good balance. If he could nail that same balance with another sweetener, I think I'd give it another shot. But, kind of after trying these two, I don't know how many other flavors he has, but, instead of, I don't know what his, aspirations are, but maybe, I think he's really onto something key here with this, the herb and heat, And to me, if I was him, I would say, hey, man, do some broad market research, see which ones are hitting. But to me, that is a unique thing that I haven't seen before. I would double down on that. Use all your peppers for that, perfect that recipe, and put that thing to market. And instead of going mass appeal, I don't know, you ever go to those Amish craft stores and they've got a whole bay of 20 different hot sauces, and they're all these kind of this labeling,
Sure.
And they're 20 wide and they're 1,000 deep, and they're all just you don't know which one to pick. To me, if you got to put one on a shelf, put your best one out there and make a name for yourself on that one that no one else is doing. There's lots of other sweet heat type ones. No one else is doing this rosemary herb heat one that I'm familiar with. That would be my advice.
Do you see a lot of sweet heat, hot sauces though? I always see like barbecue sweet heat and things like that. I see a lot.
If you go into a Chinese right now, there are probably 8 other sweet heat hot sauces,
and they look real similar to this. It looks just like a regular Tabasco sauce.
Varieties. Most of them are more like a Thai oriented type of thing,
Huh. All right.
If you go to the Chinese aisle or something like that, I think you'll find a lot of sauces not quite as. This is more like a Louisiana style hot sauce, I would say. They're not quite exactly one for one, but the idea is played out. You know what I mean? And to me, being perfectly honest with the guy to give him open and honest feedback, I would say I don't think he's nailing this one, whereas I would double down and perfect the one that I think he's doing a great job at. That's my thoughts. I mean, don't,
Yeah.
and like I said, he may have his own career aspirations, market aspirations. Don't let me, get him down from any of that, but that would be my only suggestion.
Hey, I think suggestions and, people just trying a sauce and letting them know what they think of it. And honest feedback is always welcome, I think, for someone who's starting out into, something as subjective as the food
And that's just me.
genre. So, right.
That's, you guys like that. I mean, like I said, that's just me. I was the only one getting that weird aspartame chemically taste, so I could be totally off base.
That rosemary one might be good on a piece of pizza.
Yeah, I could see that a lot too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, that's, if I was him, I'd, throw a recipe on there, attach it, put it on the label, put it on a card on the bottle, pimp out your labeling a little bit. I think the bottle's nice. I would maybe go for a more interesting lid, if that was possible. I don't know what his options are, but
A unicorn bottle?
I think it'd be
There you
cool
go.
to see a square, like, dark stained wood lid or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like a health potion, something like that maybe.
Yeah, that's cool.
The glass bottle screams quality to me. The chintzy gold top does not.
I think these bottles are a little bit generic in the shape, though. I think, these glass bottles are real commercially available. We actually have this, sitting on the same table as the Nando, which, of course, has Nando's molded into the bottle, obviously as a custom mold. But, if you find a bottle with a little more body to it, a little more flair than just these square ones, I think it might be a little more interesting. But
Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I don't mind the square. That part I don't have a problem with.
well, I think this was really neat for us to be able to try something that was local. Something here that's only going to be available to us and us alone. So, of course, our listeners don't, unfortunately, that's why this is really a bonus content kind of thing. This isn't something that currently even Pittsburghers can go out to the store and buy because they're not commercially licensed. But I think this was kind of fun to do, something to promote a local grower, some organic sauces,
And a friend of the show.
and a friend of the show.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Let's hook this
So,
up. Definitely.
on that note, I don't know if we really need closing thoughts per se. I just think, unless there's something else you'd like to say, either of you.
I mean, like I said, obviously, definitely thanks to Derek for hooking us up with this stuff. He helped us out at the Olive Tap with all the stuff they've done. And actually, we've got a couple more things from the Olive Tap that we still haven't done yet. Might be another bonus content in the future. As far as that goes, I think you're really onto something here, man. And I would encourage the listeners, if you're in the local area, I struggle to encourage someone to just go bombard this guy and say hey, I want to try the herb hot sauce or something like that, but maybe, stop by and express some interest in it, if that won't get him in trouble, his job or something like that, just to, give him some encouragement, because it's always nice when you're starting a small operation like that to get some feedback and some encouragement. And maybe, I don't know if he can sell these to some people. Maybe, I don't know what his batch size is right now. Maybe he could do a little thing like that to generate some feedback. Maybe do a little giveaway. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, I mean, he pulled these two out of a box of 20 in each box. They were pretty
Okay.
big size boxes.
All right.
And like I said, he said he had other flavors too, and he's definitely been handing them out to people who express interest. I know I brought up the Olive Tap during the episode of it. The Olive Tap is a small company-owned franchise that is in many states just because it's a family operated and they have a big family. Flavored oil and balsamic vinegars is not something that's I would not say it's extremely unique. There's other companies, other brands out there doing this. So I would suggest, check out your local distributors of that kind of gourmet sauces and dips, and you're going to find other local sourced to you sauces. I mean, that whole store for us here in Pittsburgh is just chock full of Pittsburgh local sauces and soup mixes and all kinds of things. Shop local is cool and it's worthwhile doing. It really supports your local economy and you get to meet new and interesting people. So, I do hope we can do an actual episode with the flavored. We have some flavored balsamic vinegars, which again, I don't think that's a particularly that niche per se, but it's something that we would love to share our thoughts and experience with when we have the opportunity. So I think that's it. And I hope you enjoy our little bonus content here. Let us know, and maybe we'll be able to do more of this kind of stuff, especially since we have a store that has other local sourced small stuff. Maybe we can do like a whole other side bonus content to. I hate to bring it down just to Pittsburghers though. We've been trying to do a lot of sauces all from around the whole world. So keep giving us ideas. We're here and we're happy to receive them. So
yeah, and we kind of thought it'd be interesting to do a little bonus content right now, just kind of as like a freebie. But at some point in the future, we may investigate doing like the Patreon route. We might start doing more of this kind of stuff for like a Patreon listenership or people who donate to us, etc., whatever. We're still kind of hashing it out, but for right now, we just kind of want to flesh out the idea of what bonus content might look like for the show. Tori, you got any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I don't really have too much here. But yeah, I mean, heck, if you're on the edge of thinking about doing something like our friend Derek here, you know, he's on the edge of what very well could be greatness. Don't let anyone talk you out of it, you know? Just keep on doing it. If you think you got a good thing, you're getting some constructive, positive feedback, man, just let it rip. See what happens. You'd kick your own ass if it was going to be a successful endeavor and you never did it in the first place. So,
absolutely.
So yeah. Good work, Derek. I hope one day I can meet you, and I wish you great success.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is he's out there doing the damn thing. You know, that's
right.
That's kind of the key. You know, that's everyone's kind of dream is to be able to. I would love to be able to do something like this and put a sauce like this in other people's hands in this format. So I think that in and of itself is a great accomplishment that he should be really proud of.
Absolutely, pat yourself on the back, my man.
Yep, very very cool stuff. So thanks a lot, and as always. Catch us on Thursdays or whenever we drop on our weekly podcast, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks for listening.
Oh, bad news is we're at the end of the show here, but hey, the good news is that we have several other episodes that keep you entertained. And while you're at it, send us an email, saucespoken@gmail.com. If you've had enough of listening to us and like to see us, you can do that too. You can stop over on our Instagram page. It's Sauce Spoken Official. If you wish to get down into the nitty-gritty, we welcome you to do so, and you could probably do that on the website. That's going to be saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have some show notes there. We keep track of the various ratings we give them over the episodes there, so if you wish to dig into the details, that's a great place to do it. In the event some unthinkable calamity, your favorite listening provider is not available, you can fire us up on YouTube. And of course, we'll be out here rattling our empty mayonnaise and mustard jars. If you'd like to donate to us, you certainly can. We are at PayPal at Sauce Spoken. We'll give you a little jingle jangle, maybe a wink and a smile on your way out. Keep in mind, we have stickers available for you. Slap them any which where you like, but they're available to you. If you'd like one, let us know. We'd be happy to send you one. And finally, we have a proprietary cryptocurrency out here. It's what's called Sauce Stoken. We have some details on it on the website. As we close here today, of course, we're going to ask you, please share us with a family member, share us with a friend. You know, hey, if you're enjoying it, I'm certain they would too. If you could, follow us, give us a rating or a review on that listening platform of your choice. Thank you for listening, and this is Sauce Spoken.